Welcome to the Pirate Handyman, where we teach you how you can save coin and become more self-sufficient doing stuff yourself. First, a little pirate joke. Did you hear about the pirate that walked into the bar with the paper towel on his head? The bartender says, "What's with the paper towel?" He says, "Arg, I got a bounty on me head." Okay, so today, the clothes washer. What we're going to do here is we're going to check our hoses and see if the hoses are okay, if they need to be replaced. This is something that if you think they need to be replaced, you probably should go ahead and replace them, because when they fail, it's catastrophic. It can literally flood your whole house. I know, I've had that happen. We're also going to take a look at the screens in the inlet valve. These are basically filters, and as we've showed in some of the other videos, depending on your water supply in your city or county or whatever, there can be lots of sediment, and the sediment is filtered out by these screens, and it can cause the washer to fill slower. So if you're having problems with your washer filling slowly but your hoses are okay, we're still going to show you how to do that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the water off, because we don't want to get water all over the place. So behind your washer, you'll see where the hoses come in, and you just simply turn them off. Now, if you have to replace these, because they're leaking, see the video that we have on fixing the outside faucet, because it's going to be the exact same thing. So once we turn it off, now we're going to take a bucket, because when we take the hose off, obviously the water that's still in there is going to drain out, and we don't want to get it all over the floor. Now you'll need a set of expandable pliers. We want to put them on the big setting here. Alright, so we're going to take it loose. We want to take it loose from the washer first. As soon as it gets loose enough, you can do it with your fingers. And we'll put it down into the bucket. And we'll get the other one. Now, if you won't be able to see in here, so don't have a lot of room, but right here is where the screens are. Now, the screens are fairly thin. We don't want to ruin them, but if you accidentally do poke a hole or something like that, then you can get them replaced. You can just get them at the hardware store or over the internet. They're not that expensive. But we just kind of go around it with a screwdriver. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the screens out, and there's a lot of sediment in here. What we're going to do is take this to the kitchen sink and wash them out. But you can see that this has probably severely restricted the flow. So we've got them reformed. We're going to put them back in. And you want to get them in there nice and snug. You'll be able to feel how they're going in. If you've got any other sediment, like you can see here, I've still got some sediment in the inlet itself. So I'm just going to wipe that out. Put this little guy back in there. The round part facing out. Now, as I look at my hoses, they're not in real bad shape, but if you noticed in the inlet filters there was a lot of black stuff, and that could be breakdown inside of here. And as I said earlier, this isn't something you want to mess with, so I'm going to go ahead and replace the hoses. So we do the same thing as far as taking the hose off. Not a whole lot of room to work in there. Once we get it loose, just take it off. Now, if you look down inside here, remember, see our little rubber grommet there? It's not in great shape. We could probably still use this hose, but since I've already spent the money, I'm going to put the new ones on. Alright, so now I'm going to take my new hose, take all the little twist ties, and yes, I do save these twist ties because they can come in handy for all kinds of other things. Now we want to make sure that inside our new ones we've got the rubber grommets. So you can see we've got those. And what this does is this makes a good tight seal so your water won't leak. So we'll stretch her out. You can see this is a new type of hose that's braided. Now, just like with any hose, when you put it on, you just want to make sure you don't get her cross-threaded. Alright, so once we get it on there, you don't want to get it too tight, you just want to make sure that it's snug. So once we get it finger tight, I'm going to go about a quarter turn. And that's all I think I'm going to need. So then I'm going to hook it up here to the back of the unit. Now we want to make sure we don't have any kinks. So once again, I'm going to unroll it. Because it's new, it's going to want to kink a little bit. One big coil like that's probably okay. It's not going to restrict the water flow. And here's where you want to really be careful you don't cross thread this, because the threads on the washer itself are nylon, plastic. And what cross threading is if you're putting it on here and it doesn't quite get on straight, then the threads are going to, between the male and the female part, are going to get sideways and they won't form a good seal. There we go. And we'll just give this about a quarter turn. Alright, so we've got the new hoses back on there. We turn it back on and check underneath to make sure that you don't have any leaks. Don't have leaks. Don't have leaks. Now sometimes these come color coded, just to tell you which is the hot and which is the cold. They both work the same, so it's more for information. But one thing to note is when you turn the washer on the first time, even though you could hear the hose filling up, there's probably going to be some air in there. So the first time that you turn the washer on, you're going to hear the ka-chunk of the air coming through the line. If you've ever turned the water off in your house and then you go turn a faucet on, you know how it'll spit and make noise. Don't worry about it, everything is fine. So we hope you're digging what we're doing here. If you have any questions on this, or you have something additional that you do, drop us a comment down below and tell us how it went for you, what you did. And if you have any questions, put that in the comments below too. And like I said, if you dig what we're doing, hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. And that way every time a new video drops, which is every Tuesday and Thursday, you'll get notified on how to save more coin for your treasure chest. Thanks for joining the Pirate Handyman, and here's to smooth sailing.